We are thankful we can offer these talented, dedicated athletes the chance to reach for their goals and better their lives through boxing. Tickets starting at $50 are still available through Ticketmaster and the Madison Square Garden box office for Saturday's event, or you can watch it live on HBO World Championship Boxing starting at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time. Our card features 2 bouts in the very, very competitive light heavyweight division. Sullivan Barrera versus Felix Valera, and our main event, the next chapter in Sergey Kovalev's career, a WBO world title fight versus Vyacheslav Lionheart Shabranskyy. The opening bout of the HBO telecast brings together 2 action-oriented junior lightweights in Jason Sosa and Yuriorkis Gamboa in a must-win 10-round fight. On our off-TV undercard, we have 3 talented and undefeated Eastern European fighters out of the famed boxing laboratory in Oxnard, with backroom Murtasalayev, who is co-promoted by Main Events and Crusher Promotions, facing Carlos Galvan in a 10-round super welterweight bout, a battle of the unbeaten between middleweights Miriam Nursultanov and Eric Moon, and Enrico Gogokia versus Jose Antonio Abreu in a welterweight showdown. And in a little treat for all the New York fans, we have 3 born and bred local fighters getting the chance to perform in front of their friends and family on Thanksgiving weekend. They include Brooklyn's Frank Galorza, making his Madison Square Garden debut against Jaime Herrera, Long Island native LaShawn Lightning Rodriguez, remember that name, who has promised to put on his own winter spectacular, versus Alex Sandro Duarte. And making his pro debut, he's here with us today, I believe, Ismael Villarreal. Ismael, where are you? Say hi. He is from the Bronx, and he will face Race Sawyer. We are thankful, to get back to our theme, to our sponsors, Made Vodka and Leon.ru. We are thankful for all our partners in this card. Working with so many good people proves that you cannot succeed alone. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I want to thank Sean Boxing Promotions, Peltz Promotions, and Crusher Promotions for a wonderful working relationship in making this event possible. I want to thank HBO, and especially Peter Nelson and Tony Walker for their unwavering support. We will not let you down. As always, we thank you for the opportunity. That leads me to our first guest today, Peter Nelson. Would you like to come up and say a few words about Saturday's broadcast?
I want to thank all the press for being here. I know it's the day before Thanksgiving, and it's a great privilege to be associated with such a great event, to see all you turn out here the day before a holiday like this. I want to thank first and foremost Kathy Duva, everyone at Main Events, consummate professionals. We always know that we can rely on Main Events to not only deliver us a great show, but also on the undercard that we don't see on HBO, as Kathy was saying, giving us a glimpse into the future. And the fighters she just named are all, I think, part of a budding new generation that we'll be seeing on HBO in the coming years. I want to thank the different parties working together in order to make this event happen. Obviously, Crusher Promotions, Egis Klimas, as well as Golden Boy. I want to thank everyone on Team Barrera as well as Team Valera, in addition to Russell Peltz, legend here. Are you going to be talking? You can come up here? Better. This guy gives the best talks in all of boxing. He's just sitting there right now. I don't understand what we're doing here. So, yeah, every time he gets up here, he schools everybody. Don't want to talk after Russell Peltz. So I want to thank everyone who's really committed to making the best fights in boxing and consistently working together in order to do that. People who want to put the fights together that the fighters want have to be willing to work with anybody, anywhere, and the fighters that we want on the network are the ones who want to fight anyone, anytime. As I can attest, with all these fighters up here, I've never had that problem with any of them. They've never turned down a fight. Those are the kinds of fighters people want to watch. Those are the kinds of fighters that make the fights that people want to see. And those are the kinds of fights that lead to bigger and better things for each of the fighters involved. Our start time is 10 p.m. and we have a triple header. fight at super featherweight. It leads into big things with all the winners that we're going to be having out of our fight on December 9th. We have all action fights on HBO in the super featherweight division. And Jason Sosa and Gamboa are going to be competing in order to see what the big next step is that can come in their career. And in the light heavyweight division, as Kathy said, it's a stacked division. 2 great fights to be made there. Maybe we see the winners meet up down the road. We see some other fighters who are in great position right now to try to take dominance over an open division right now. And to have a world title fight like Sergey Kovalev against Shabranskyy is a great way to kick off a run for us that starts now, next week with Miguel Cotto fighting back here at the Garden, the 9th with all the super featherweights that we have fighting on December 9th in Las Vegas, and then December 16th with middleweight world title fight. So we look forward to seeing all HBO viewers there. If you aren't going to be at home watching it on television, set your DVR. Hopefully you'll be at the arena on Saturday night. We look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Peter. I want to welcome and thank Joe Fisher from Madison Square Garden, our wonderful host, as well as Sal Federico. You guys are the best. You know, you hear me say it a million times, but I mean it every time. Joel, can you please step forward and tell us what the fans can expect?
Thanks, Kathy. It's great to be working with you again. And I really want to welcome everybody here to this final press conference at Madison Square Garden. This is really an exciting time at the Garden as we get ready to host 3 consecutive weekends of great fights. We haven't done that since the 1960s. The 2 guys that are fighting this weekend will follow in the footsteps of all the great boxers and fighters that have fought in Madison Square Garden ring. Sergey Kovalev is really one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and we know that he's ready to start the next chapter of his brilliant career. We're thrilled to host this unified light heavyweight championship fight between Sergey and Shabranskyy. It'll be another night in a long history of great fights at the Garden. As all of you know, the theater is actually a tremendous place to host a fight and to view a fight, and we're sure all the loyal fans will come out. It's just going to be a great atmosphere on that night. Top quality boxing at the Garden, those 2 things are synonymous. The Garden's been in the boxing business for over 130 years, and this will just add to the rich history, again, of all the fighters: Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and the list really goes on and on and on and on and on. As I said, this kicks off 3 fights in a row, 3 weekends in a row, so it really is an exciting time for us. It's followed, as Peter mentioned, by Miguel Cotto's retirement fight next weekend on the 2nd, and then right after that is the much anticipated Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight on December 9th. I really want to thank Kathy, Peter, their staffs, Sal Federico from my staff. It's just been great to work together with everybody. I want to take this time to wish everybody, as Kathy said, it's Thanksgiving weekend for everybody to come out. So hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving, a great holiday, and you end it with a great night of boxing here on Saturday night. We look forward to seeing everybody. Have a great holiday, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Finally, to the media present and watching us on our live stream, thank you for your time and your attention, especially this holiday weekend. I promise you, in the months and years to come, you'll remember you were here to witness the next chapter in Sergey Kovalev's brilliant career. We have an exciting televised undercard. This is a full Thanksgiving meal with plenty on the table, as you can see. And to discuss our opening fight between Yuriorkis Gamboa and Jason Sosa, I want to bring up one of those people that I need to thank, and that is Rob Diaz from Golden Boy. He's going to talk to us about his fight, and also Russell Peltz. I don't know if you guys want to take turns, as Peter said, we cannot have a press conference without him. Perhaps you can introduce Jason, and then Rob can introduce Gamboa.
I like when they get to this part of the press conference that they start with the main event. And I say that with all due respect to the 4 fighters and the 2 walkout bouts after the Sosa-Gamboa fight. Teddy Brenner was the greatest matchmaker in the history of boxing. For those of you who don't know who he was the matchmaker here in the Garden from the late 50s to the late 70s. Before that, he ran what they called the House of Upsets at Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, where about 1/3 of the close to 200 main events he made became rematches in the Garden. No one will ever surpass Teddy because Teddy promoted fights. He didn't promote fighters. And he had 3 criteria for what made a good fight. Number 1, do the styles mesh? Gamboa and Sosa, they're each 5'6". They each try to hurt people. Second criteria, does the fight lead somewhere? Yes. The winner's been promised a shot at a world title. And the third criteria, most important, is would I buy a ticket to see this fight? Absolutely. That's why I think it's the most compelling, the most intriguing, the most interesting fight on this card. Gamboa cannot afford to lose. People say he's washed up. He's 25-2. I don't know how washed up he can be at 25-2. We expect to see the best Yuriorkis Gamboa there's been. Maybe the one that I ran into here a few years ago when he knocked out a fighter I had named Rogers Motagua. Jason Sosa's coming off a defeat to Vasyl Lomachenko, and I was in the dressing room with him after that fight, and it was a tearful scene, and Peter Nelson from HBO came in, and he said, I promise you I won't forget what you did for us this night when you stepped in when nobody else wanted to fight Lomachenko at that time for any reasonable amount of money. Jason took the challenge, and everybody said it's the end of his career. Well, here we are back again. Peter made good on his promise, and we're 1 fight away from fighting for the world title. And we would love to fight any of the guys that are fighting on the HBO show on December the 9th. When Robert Diaz or Eric Gomez or Peter Nelson call me, I don't even say hello when I answer the phone. The first thing I say is, we'll take it. Because that's what fighters do, they fight. I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to bring up Jason and his manager trainer, Chino Rivas.
First, I don't really have a lot to say. Just because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, we're not going to have the privilege, like every Thanksgiving, to have at least 4 or 5 plates. But anyway, I just like to give thanks. Thanks to the media, thanks to Peter Nelson, HBO, Main Event. I thank my family, my 2 kids, my mom, and I thank for the opportunity once again to showcase my talent on HBO.
First and foremost, I want to thank the man up above. Without him, nothing possible. Thanks to the media, HBO, of course, Golden Boy, Crusher Promotion for giving us the opportunity to showcase again in HBO. I want to thank Gamboa's team for taking the fight. It's going to be a perfect fight. 2 good, aggressive, strong fighters. Great height for each other, and they both need this fight. We know we lose, you know, we got to sit for a while. He loses, he has to sit for a while. The best thing for me is that I know that Gamboa is going to bring the best out of Jason. Loma is a special talent. Once that comes maybe every 10 years. We fought Loma when no one wanted to fight him. We relinquished our WBA title to take that fight. It says a lot about this young man. Russell Pels, I thank you for always believing in us. And And pretty much I just want to say that happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I know that you're missing your family like we are. And for the fighters in general, like Jason said, they cannot have 3 meals and enjoy the family in the Thanksgiving. You know, this sport is very demanding with time. So thank you for taking your time.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's gonna be tough. Going against Russell Peltz. Wow. Huh? And Jolene on the same night. But I want to thank Peter. Everybody's thanking everybody, and of course, thanks to the media, thanks to the fans, thanks to Madison Square Garden. It's a privilege to be here. But Peter, thank you for not focusing on these pretty records, for focusing on fighters that want to fight, and bringing them back even after a loss or two, because these are fighters that want to fight. Now, I got to disagree with Russell on one thing. In this fight, the super featherweights, they have a lot in common to the main event. All 4 fighters know what a loss and a victory means for their career. And in all 4 cases, neither can afford a loss. In one case, they'll be fighting, the winner goes on to fight for a world title. But in the main event, the winner will walk out as the world champion. You all know Gamboa. You know what he can do. He's a special fighter. It's all about preparing. How much does he want it? He brought in one of the most talented trainers in boxing, Profe, and they put in the hard work. He is more than ready. Let me introduce Yorkis, Gamboa, and Jesse to say a couple words. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Number one, thank you for trying for new opportunity try again in SBO. So, quiero darle gracias a Dios por la oportunidad nuevamente de estar en una cartelera de SBO en el Madison Square Garden. Gracias a SBO, de Nelson, Golden Boy y toda la gente y fanáticos que nos siguen y me están mirando en el día de hoy, y a todos los presentes aquí en esta.
What an event this weekend. I know everyone's thanking, and this is the right time to thank HBO, Peter. Thank you for believing in Yuri and giving him another opportunity. To Golden Boy, for bringing Gamboa back. The guy has fought 4 times this year, when previously in the previous 4 or 5 years, I think he fought 4 times. So thank you, Golden Boy. You guys are gonna see a great fight this weekend, and Gamboa is definitely ready. We got one of the best in the world, Pedro Roque, and we thank him for taking on the challenge. And Gamboa has put a lot of work, and you guys will see this weekend. Thank you again to everybody, and thank God for this opportunity.
Okay, so to move on, I think of this as sort of like our Thanksgiving boxing dinner, where we have an amazing appetizer that whets our appetite for the rest of the meal. So with all due respect to Russell, we're going to now move on to the main course and the dessert. As I said earlier, the light heavyweight division is on fire right now, and we really can't get enough. We're excited to feature a second top fight in the light heavyweight division as our co-feature on Saturday. Cuban Sullivan Barrera, who's 20-1 with 14 knockouts, and a former WBA interim light heavyweight champion, Felix Mangu Valera, who's 15-1 with 13 knockouts of the Dominican Republic, are making this a hot island showdown. And this bout is presented by Main Events in association with Swan Boxing Promotions, and we're very happy to work with them. Sullivan is ranked #1 at light heavyweight by the WBA, And if he can defeat Valera, Sullivan will be first in line for Dmitry Bivol's WBA light heavyweight championship belt as the mandatory challenger. Sullivan is another distinguished amateur, a former member of the Cuban national team, like Yuri, who then defected from Cuba in 2009. He quickly made a name for himself in the light heavyweight division, winning his first 17 bouts, with 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Let's hear from Sullivan and his trainer, Derek Santos. Where is he?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. You know, my English is not very well, but I would like to try. So I'm so happy to stay here at the Garden. Thank you, HBO. Thank you, Peter Nelson, my promoter, Minivan. This weekend is the great weekend. It's Thanksgiving. We work hard at the gym for put the great show for the fan, the boxing fan. My opponent, Felix Varela, I respect him. He's a great boxer too. So we put great show for the boxing fan. Thank you, everyone. See you Saturday. Buenas tardes para todos. Primero darle gracias a HBO, a Peter Nelson, a mi promotora Minivan por la oportunidad, al Madison Square Garden por esta gran oportunidad. El sábado en la noche mi oponente Félix Varela y yo vamos a poner un gran show para todos los fanáticos del boxeo. Y nada, estoy muy agradecido y muy contento de estar aquí en esta arena como lo han hecho grandes campeones. Muchas gracias.
Hello to everyone. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. I'd like to thank Peter Nelson, HBO, Madison Square Garden, our promoter, Main Events, Luis Molina, our manager, and I'd also like to thank Sullivan because I tell you, he's a pleasure to work with, and we worked hard to be here. I'd like to thank Team Valera for accepting the opportunity, and we're, like he said, it's cold here, but we're going to bring the heat on Saturday night, and we're going to put on a show for the fans. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Derek. Sullivan will have his hands full with Felix Valera, a knockout artist with 13 knockouts in his 15 professional wins. His only loss is to the man waiting in line for the winner of this fight, Bivol. This is his first professional bout in the United States, and you can't do much better than starting out and making your debut at Madison Square Garden. Felix is here with his trainer, Luis Perez, who will come up and interpret for him. Would you like to share your thoughts with us now?
Muy buen día, Dios me lo bendiga una vez más. Me siento agradecido, orgulloso por el gran Jehová, el gran pastor, y a la compañía Mayben, HBO, y a mi manejadora Vyacheslav, a Juan Bosch, dame una oportunidad. Me siento orgulloso, estar contento, estar aquí en este escenario, pelear en el Madison. Para mí un honor y agradecido con Dios y a la compañía Mayben.
First, I want to attend Main Event, HBO. His promoter, Swan Boxing. He feels happy to be here. He feels happy to be able to put a good fight. And Saturday night, you guys will see a good fight from him.
Y también me siento orgulloso que voy a pelear con un peleador bueno de aquí de Estados Unidos, con Sullivan Barrera. Para mí es un gran honor pelear con los mejores de mi peso.
For me, it's an honor to fight such a great fighter like Sullivan Barrera, and for him, it's also an honor to want to fight all the best in the light heavyweight division.
Buenas tardes, gracias a mi papito Dios por permitirnos estar aquí hoy, gracias a Main Event, HBO, y gracias por la oportunidad de poder conocer lo que son los boxeadores dominicanos, de poder conocer este gran talento que tiene Mangú Valera. Confío en mi boxeador, confío en que va a ser un gran show este sábado y estoy confiada en que saldremos victoriosos, gracias a Dios, que Sullivan va a conocer también lo que es un boxeador excelente. Bendiciones para todos.
The first Main Event HBO, she's the promoter for Mr. Valera. She said that she's happy to be here in the United States, basically to show the showcase from Dominican fighters. Everybody will see he's also talented and he belongs in this level. And me and Luis Perez, his coach, also want to add 10th, once again, Main Event, Swan Boxing, HBO. I feel we're fighting actually the best fighter in the light heavyweight division. It's only my opinion. Once again, not disrespect to nobody. He's long Cuban boxing school. He's a great counter puncher. He's got power. He goes down, get up on the floor to win by knockout. So in my opinion, we had the toughest fight in the light heavyweight division. Coming through Saturday, the way that we planned it, I feel that's we all the way on top. Once again, to me, Sullivan Barrera, the best fighter in the light heavyweight division, and we prepare very well for him. So, 10 to him and 10 to Main Event to give us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Luis. And now on to dessert, or as we call it, the main event, Russell. When we put together Sergey Kovalev's first fight for the next chapter of his career, he wanted it to be memorable and exciting, a real test of his new approach and attitude. We found the right opponent in a guy with the longest nickname in boxing, and it says everything about his come-forward style. So I'd like to bring up Rob Diaz to introduce his team. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you very much. Once again, it's such a pleasure to be working with different promoters, putting their best fighters against their best fighters, and at the end of the day, you're going to get the best fights, and the fans are going to walk away happy. Jolene, you know you owe me. We got a pending account there, so Saturday night, you'll remind me. This is a tremendous fight. I want to thank Team Crusher for this opportunity. Utmost respect for you and your team. Egis, we go way back. This is a real fight. Again, like I said in the previous, this is a real fight because of what it means to both fighters. Put the world title aside, which is very meaningful. This fight means the next chapter, not only for you, but also for Slava, the world title level. We're very confident because he has a very good team behind him. Manny Robles, one of the best trainers in boxing. You all know him. We'll introduce Shabranskyy and the new WBO world champion.
Still morning. I think it's still morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to thank HBO, Main Events, and of course Golden Boy. Thank you very much for the opportunity for my fighter here, Slava, to fight for the world title. I just want to say we had a great camp, great sparring. This has probably been the best camp we've ever had, and just like to thank everyone for being here today, and of course I wish everyone a Thanksgiving, a great Thanksgiving, and Saturday night we're gonna walk away with the world title. God willing, we're well prepared and we're ready for, with all due respect for Kovalev, we're ready for everything that may come our way. So thank you.
Manny, I might need some translation. Ladies and gentlemen, Vyacheslav Chingonsky Lionheart Shabranskyy.
Hello everyone.
First, I want to thank you, my promoter, for believing me and giving me an opportunity to fight all the best. Fight in Madison Square Garden alone is dream come true, and I know fight for the title just like amazing feeling. So I working really hard to be where I am now, and I am ready. Let's go. Thank you.
Finally, our former unified light heavyweight champion in the main event sits here today, knowing what it's like to feel thankful and to understand the importance of teamwork. Sometimes life delivers a hard lesson, but you can learn and move forward. You can be stronger and wiser. You can reach your goals for a second time in life. How many of us can say we've reached the top even once? Sergey Kovalev has been a world champion. He rose from nothing. You all know his story. There is no reason to believe he can't do it again. It will be exciting to watch it happen, and I think it will be even more satisfying for us than the first time we saw it. We have heard from a lot of people who have talked to Sergey, watched him these past few weeks during training, including many of you. And they have pulled us aside and told us how amazed they are at his change in his appearance and his change in attitude. When Sergey defeated the great Bernard Hopkins, Bernard told Sergey right after the fight that he would be world champion as long as he wanted to be. He was right. Bernard is always right. It turned out, and if you don't believe it, he'll tell you again. But it turned out that the only person who could really beat Sergey Kovalev was himself. And now that he has learned this lesson, he's ready to begin the next chapter. Everyone in the light heavyweight division should be very, very afraid of what a focused Sergey Kovalev can do. It is my privilege to introduce Sergey's manager, Agus Klimas. We are always appreciative of all that he's done and all that he's brought us, and we are always thankful for the day that we met. I'm going to bring up Agus Klimas.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to New York City, RBRBoxing, Madison Square Garden. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. I wanted to thank everybody. And the one thing, just not to repeat it and repeat it again. Thank you everybody who put effort to this fight. The most what I would like to say probably is I'm very honored to represent completely different Sergey Kovalev, what I knew from 2009. In the beginning of his career, he was very patient, and we walked a very long road to get into the position. After he became a champion, he started doing things what not champions supposed to do. He didn't pay much attention about his trainings. He was always on his own, trying to tell trainers and everybody what to do, how to do. After every fight, he used to go back home to Russia, spending 2 months, 3 months there until he's going to get the next fight, and a lot of time spending with a friends. I'm not going to go into details what had been done and how it been done, but finally he got that last call, which is reach his mind. I was trying to give some advices during his career, but he didn't pay much attention. He just walked on the other side and did what he's supposed to do. Usually we can't give to the grown man advice and he's not going to take seriously until it's going to reach into his mind. He got that belt. Somebody told him, you got to stop it, you got to go different road if you want to go somewhere in this life. I'm very happy. I'm really happy to represent different Sergey Kovalev. On another note, As soon as I walked in today into Madison Square Garden, Robert Diaz stepped to me and he said, "You know what, Slava got the phone call when he landed here in New York?" I said, "What?" He said his wife called him and said, "Guess what, our children are playing. Both their children playing in the background, and the two men going to step in the ring and fight each other." Wow. That's a wonderful story. I'll see you guys on Saturday night. Have a good time.
Thank you, Agus. And you know, no matter what any of us say, no matter what Sergey says, whatever story we have to tell you, what really matters is what we're all going to see on Saturday night. That is really the only thing that means anything. But up until that moment, we have to wait. So in the meantime, it is my privilege, as always, to introduce the newly energized and focused Crusher Kovalev.
Hi everyone. I'm happy to be here in Madison Square Garden, and tomorrow Thanksgiving. Happy to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone tomorrow. And I want to say thank you to HBO for this opportunity to came back on this level of the boxing, and where can I prove for myself who I am, you know, and also to my manager, to my team, Katie Dua, and to Madison Square Garden, that I'm fighting here for all boxing fans here and worldwide. And also I want to thank God for that He blessed me, and that I still alive, and that I reloaded and got a lot of new motivations in my head, in my mentally, you know, like from last my losses. I didn't broke. These losses didn't broke my mentally, you know. Like it was like a good experience from the life that I should to follow for my goals on the clean road without any wrong things in the baggage on my back, you know. And also right now, I want to thank to Golden Boy Promotions for this fight, and personally Slava Shabranskyy. I respect this guy, and because he's a real fighter, and his nickname proved that he's a lion heart, you know, like. And we will show you on the Saturday very great fight, because on the top will be this WBO title. From WBO title, I began my first boxing successful career, you know, like, and I want to repeat it. And after this, we can speak of my future boxing career. Thank you very much to everyone that you came here. I love the life, I love the boxing. Thank you very much.
You know, for boxing people, this is hallowed ground. Every time I walk in the door here, I remember the first time I came. It was more than 40 years ago, and Main Events is about to celebrate our 40th anniversary next year, if you can believe that. So many of you weren't born yet. One thing that I remember being here, and I took a picture of Joe Frazier. He actually stood right in front of me, and I had my camera, and I took a picture, and it's still hanging across from my desk. I look at it every day. Black and white and fading, but it's him. And if there's one thing you gain from having this many years on you, it's experience. It's learning that life is nothing but a series of reinventions. Those who can continue to reinvent will thrive, and those who can't will fall behind. So the reinvention begins on Saturday. And as all of you go off to your Thanksgiving dinners, I want to ask all of you to think about these fighters. They won't be sitting, as somebody just pointed out, as Jason I think pointed out, they won't be sitting down to a big meal because they have to make weight on the scale Friday, and God knows Jolene hopes they all do. And then this is a rough assignment during a holiday like this. Once again, tickets starting at $50 are still available through Ticketmaster and the Madison Square Garden box office. for Saturday's event, where you can watch live on HBO World Championship Boxing starting at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. And this last word, we have a lot of people here behind the scenes giving up their holiday. They're working hard to put on an entertaining night of boxing for your Thanksgiving weekend. I want to particularly make a shout out to every member of my wonderful staff, Jolene, Nicole, Alexis, Lisa, Joe. I want to make a shout out to Ed Keenan, our trusty sidekick, and to Gail Frankenhall, who is pitch hitting admirably for Ellen. We all have her and her family in our thoughts and prayers. She's going through a rough patch. And hopefully she'll be back again too. And so I think it's only appropriate in that we're all giving thanks is that we give these people a big round of applause, please. And to all of you, because I know you're all working today too, and we'd all rather not be. So thank you for coming today, and now we are going to pose the fighters for your photographic pleasure.
Good. I got you. No, they gotta get down. Are we standing? Yes, we're standing. Oh, that'd be us.
Ready to get it. Ready to find it.
Why don't let Kathy hold that one? Yeah. Kathy, you want to hold the... No, hold the WBO.
Yeah, hold it. Ace will get it. Hold the WBO.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Okay. Drop all that hardware. Down, guys. Down, down. Crouch.
Bring your camera.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Fist. Fist. Fist.
Can we get you guys together one more time? Can we get them together?
Do we face,
one more time?
face off?
Face off one more time, please. Thank you so much.
Closer,
closer. Closer. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
They're gonna get close on Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
See you on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Sullivan and... Right, but no bells because it's